Welcome everyone to the December 2021 cataloging SIG group of koha-US. So far we enjoyed meeting Melissa, the newest kitten, to join the koha community. Lauren, I was wondering how things were going with your facets.
I didn't hear any more, and I'm still trying to just, as I learn from the group, I do think I think it was you who suggested I need to check the koha mappings in, or the mark mappings in koha. I have not done that yet. That's on my to-do list, but I know that's going to be once I start, it's going to be a black hole for probably about a month. And so I'm waiting. I'm also somewhat tempted to wait. We're on 2011 and maybe going to 2105, which I think everyone else is on. And I know some of the stuff on the back end or that sort of thing, I've heard is a little bit easier in the 2105 version. So part of me is kind of going, you know what? That's a project when we move over. When I'm updating all the system preferences and making sure everything works, work with the mapping, because I'm already excited about that you can make the subfields in the correct order.
Oh, yes.
I'm like, oh,
yes.
It was Christmas.
Yes, being able in your mark frameworks to put the subfields in the correct order is life-changing. I love it so much. Just to remind everyone, Lauren's on Zebra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, if it were me, I'd be tempted to just do the upgrade and do all that first, and then dive in.
That's what the little bit of information I get, like, okay, the ISBN number controls the cover image. They were just like, oh, that's wonderful. I didn't know that. And so I'm like, okay, I'll just have this. It just keeps growing, this growing list of, as I learn this field makes this happen in the OPAC, I'll just continually add to my list and make it, because I'm like, I don't know what effects. I have learned one of those weird ones is the 242 for the translation isn't indexed. So you have to use the 246. So it's like, use the 242, that will display, but if you want to be able to search by your translation, you also have to use the 246.
Wait, I'm not following the translation issue, because we use uniform titles in a 240 or a 130.
These would be titles that someone locally has translated.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I get you.
So it wouldn't be a uniform title. Now, for Bibles, we do use the uniform title is the way to go.
Bible.
Oh, yeah. Bibles, I feel like people just think, oh, let me come up with a new way to say this. Is no one else has come up with this title. Let's be creative and come up with something so you can never find what you're looking for in a catalog without uniform titles.
I'm a fan of uniform titles.
I'm slowly becoming one.
Cool.
So I'm slowly learning, but the facets fascinate me. So I'm wanting to learn more. I love the drop down menu that somebody showed at the KOA conference and shared that wonderful code with the rest of us.
If anyone wants to know why catalogers have a certain reputation, I think we should just give them the clip at the last 5 minutes or so. Life-changing.
Yes. Well, do keep us posted when how your upgrade goes, Lauren, and how your journey with facets goes. I think also Bruce had something to bring to the group about sorting.
Yeah, I just upgraded to 21.5 and was flawless. This is why I like old stable. It just goes. The problem I have is sorting. And if I can share screen, I will give you a demonstration.
You should be able to.
I think so too, but I click the share screen button and nothing happens. You need to give me permission.
See. Do you see a little green share screen in between?
Yep.
Okay.
Click on that.
Let's see. I'm going into the sharing.
Bruce,
Yeah.
I think you've frozen.
Yeah, this seems to always crash Bruce. I think it may be his computer.
Oh. We'll see if he comes back. I haven't noticed any issue with sorting, but it doesn't mean we're not having it. Oh yeah, there goes Bruce. We'll see if he comes back.
While we're waiting for Bruce to
Mhm.
reconnect, remember I said on Tuesday, I was trying to upgrade and I was having a problem. I'm on 2011.04 and I'm trying to do 2105, and that is where I'm getting the message that there is a file that everything depends on that isn't there, and I have broken packages, and I have the newer version. So I was actually going to post that to the general list this week, but then other things happened this week.
Posting to the general list seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce, you're back. So I think share screen might be a little difficult for your tech. I don't know. Can you achieve it?
Let me try again.
Okay.
I click on it. And I change to another screen. Do you see that?
Not yet, but we still see you, so that's
Yes.
a plus.
Okay.
Maybe you can get the new kitten to run the treadmill instead of the older cat. Might get a little more power.
Yeah, but the kitten's prone to going in the random direction, so it's not as good a choice.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I think Bruce froze again.
Yep.
I can give a little plug here. Fred mentioned Tuesday. We had our Giving Tuesday Q&A, and we covered all things Koha. The video is up for that, and we did cover a few cataloging things. I'll put a link in the chat to this is the sort of post on our website about it. And if you scroll down, there's a list of bookmarks to the video, so you can click on different categories. The ones that we covered in cataloging were setting up a new Z target, editing the FastAdd template, and merging records. Those were the big cataloging topics. So If you're interested, you can just click on that timestamp and it'll jump you straight to that part of the video.
Yeah, and if
Great.
I'd known we were going to run out of time before we ran out of questions, I wouldn't have spent so much time talking about videos.
That's okay, we'll do it again.
Yeah, please do it again. I wasn't able to catch this one. I'm looking forward to seeing the recording, but yes, please do it again.
Yeah, I even did a special koha-US background.
If we do it again, we need you to answer cataloging questions.
You're talking to Fred, right?
No,
Absolutely not.
Well, Bruce,
Apparently I can't do that.
okay. Do you want to describe your sorting issue and perhaps I can
Yeah.
recreate it?
Yeah, basically I'm using the inventory function and I pull up a listing, sort it by call number, and it goes BGPC, which is sub-ideal.
GPC, is that the first character in your call
Actually,
numbers?
it's the fourth, but the other three are identical. It just typically it's taking 3 to 5 entries out of random and putting them in the front, and then the rest of it's sorted properly.
Since you're having a screen sharing issue, I'm wondering if you could maybe get screen grabs or make a little video that if you could get that and then share them with us. I know that Koha has Library of Congress call number sorting issues.
But this works fine for a long time, and I noticed it when I was on 20.11. That may have been when the problem started. That may not. And
I help you 45 minutes, please.
Oh,
I was hoping that this latest upgrade might fix it. No.
well, maybe you found a bug.
Every once in a while, I've had a sorting issue. We're Dewey, and I think I've seen it more in a report when I've said to sort by the call number. But I think I remember once or twice going into the specific bib record and I had like a space at the end or something. And so I took the call number out, put it back in.
If it were one item,
sometimes that would work.
Yeah, if there were one item, I would assume that's a problem, but I'm seeing this pop up with multiple items in multiple areas, so it's likely just a bug I'm gonna have to call in on.
And you have a local call number system, if I remember correctly?
I do, but it's the call numbers are 1 to 5 characters, space, and then a cutter for the author.
And I'm trying to remind myself of the field in the item records where you tell Koha like what call number system you're using.
Well, there are 2 options, and the other one doesn't sort at all right.
the one I use is 942.
Yeah, the call number's in 942, but there's a system setting for how to sort, and
our call numbers are in 952 subfield 0, and then the subfield 2 source of classification or shelving scheme is the field I was thinking of that has to be set correctly, probably for other.
And I think there's another one in the general setup.
Yeah.
Is which one?
Yeah, I got the general setup.
Okay.
Let me, go see exactly where it is here.
By the way, I'm disappearing because I'm eating soup.
Enjoy.
Need to go down in posterity.
Yeah, so my call numbers are, I think it's 942 P, no, 942 O. which is pretty common. It says it's the field that's named full call number.
Mhm.
Is the sorting issue only happening in the inventory tool, or is it happening everywhere?
That's the only place I've noticed it, but then that's what I'm using most of the time right now.
Hey, I'm
Okay.
using 942 subfield 2 to say where my call number is, or what type of call number. And
That the one called source of classification?
Yes.
Yeah, that's either LC or in my case, Augustine Library. But that shouldn't, all I'm saying is it should sort consistently.
yes,
Even if it's sorting consistently wrong, something should.
There's some discussion on that bug that I just put in the chat about in the item search, the call number doesn't sort correctly because the sorting's happening, not happening server side, or it's rendered server side. There's something there where it's not using all the available code that Koha has to sort. So I wonder if that's also affecting your inventory sorting.
I would think that 4 characters wouldn't overwhelm things.
Yeah, it's just like it's not using, like Koha has those built-in things that we're talking about where you're designating using the call number sort in you're designating where you how you want it to sort in your system preferences, but it sounds like maybe some parts of Koha aren't actually looking at those system preferences when it's sorting stuff.
Ooh, this is an interesting bug, Jason. Thank you for sharing it, because I find the item search sort is the only place it sorts LC call numbers correctly, and I'm seeing a problem actually in the order mentioned when the bug was reported.
Okay, I'll check out that bug. Maybe file my own.
Yeah, there's another bug about call number sorting. I'll put it in the chat. It's a very obscure issue. It has to do with map call numbers. Map call numbers can be really weird because you get colons.
Well, yeah, I get colons in some of mine, but that doesn't seem to map to the nature of the problem. Yeah, there's no colons in these that I'm having trouble with. Oh, well.
Well, A, good luck. B,
Hey,
yeah,
for the amount of money I'm paying for this program.
But yeah, I would definitely see if you can replicate the problem in just an OPAC search, in the item search, and then that'll help figure out if it's a problem, where the problem lies. And then, yeah, sounds like maybe file a bug report or take it to the general Koha list too.
Well, I should have time to work on this. In 2 weeks, I get on a cruise ship for 5 months.
Ooh.
We don't know if we're ever going to get off the boat the way things are going. It's got good internet access, and I've got nothing else better to do.
where are you going?
I'll be everywhere. Basically, we take the boat to San Francisco, and then it goes south, goes back through the Panama Canal, hits a bunch of islands, runs counterclockwise around Africa, in India, Sri Lanka, Hong Kong, back onto Tokyo, Russia, Alaska, and back to San Francisco.
You have to call when you're in San Francisco. We have to get a coffee.
Yeah, we should. I've got an overnight there. And I will attend some of these meetings, but some are going to be opposite a shore excursion, and some are going to be at 3 in the morning. Yeah, my wife informs me I will not be attending that one. But
We'll understand jealously, but
yes,
we'll
of
understand.
course, this is going to put back the cataloging project something fierce, but
Priorities.
yes, not having my wife kill me is a high priority.
Take
Well,
lots of pictures and share with the group.
I don't know. I spent 15 years at Walt Disney World working part-time and watched people go through the parks viewing everything through their viewfinder. It's like they weren't even there. It's I'm less about capturing the moment than enjoying it.
Okay,
But I'll
well,
see
when
what
we meet for a coffee, I'll take pictures.
Okay. But I won't have my kitten with me, so that won't be so fun.
Oh, yes.
Well, does anybody else have anything they'd like to bring to the group?
I have, oh, someone else can go.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that I've been playing with the inventory tool on my test server, and I think I am seeing the same problem that Bruce is. Like the numbers aren't sorting at all when you sort by call number. So I think that is probably a bug.
Can you share the screen and show us? Since Bruce can't?
Sure. Might need this one. Okay, so I ran just I put some junk in the inventory tool so that I get a list. And it's default sorting by call number, but you can see that it's going 81354, 81336, then 54 again, 54 again, some sixes. And if I try and tell it to sort that, it's still not doing it. So that sounds like the issue that you're having, Bruce. Is that right?
At least it's consistent. It's a lot easier to fix than an intermittent bug.
Yeah, so I would call that a bug for sure.
Good.
Yeah, and really inconvenient since you're trying to do an inventory, you're going to be at the shelf.
Yeah. Where did they go?
All right, sorry, Lauren, go ahead.
Actually, I had a question. This is Lara from Toro College of Osteopathic Medicine. We literally just moved to Koha. We've been on it for about 3 months.
Oh, welcome.
So
Welcome.
I haven't gotten on to sorting yet, although we are going to do a shelf read hopefully in the summer. I want to know we have a really small print collection. We have some electronic records in Koha. Most of it we just let our discovery layer handle, but we want to try to get rid of OCLC and use the Z239. But I want to know, does anyone know any osteopathic libraries that have that search? Because I found a list of colleges, but it's a really old list and a lot of the addresses aren't good anymore. I have NLM and I have a few, like I think I have University of Colorado. Of course I have LC and whatever else was defaulted there.
I use WorldCat to see who's got a typical item,
Yeah.
and then go see if they've got a Z3950 port.
Yeah.
This has led me to some very peculiar libraries that turn out to have a very similar collection to mine.
Yeah. Well, as I said, I'm trying to find, because the bigger issue is like, so we got rid of Gobi, pulled records for us, and we just got rid of that. Because I said, but we want to get rid of OCLC too.
Yeah.
And just because we have such the print, I maybe catalog like 100 print books a year. So speaking of cats, mine is being a pain. Mine is being a pain and then disrupting me. Yes, I'm trying to find other libraries that have, especially osteopathic libraries.
Yeah. Are you on MedLib?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know
Yeah,
Bill
I know
Nichols?
you in your squirrel thing.
You know Bill Nichols at the VIA College of Osteopathic Medicine in South Carolina?
Okay.
And there's one, One of my friends worked for another one in Missouri, but their main campus was in Arizona. Let me see if I can look that up. I don't know if they have Z3950.
Yeah. So I did find one, but the address was wrong. I found the list of like all the, like someone compiled the list, but it's a really old list, so some of it doesn't work anymore.
Sometimes it's worth reaching out to the staff at the library to ask, hey.
Yeah. I just wanted to know if anyone had a new one offhand.
Yeah, Fred's library is medical, so.
Yeah, but we don't have a Z3950.
Yeah.
Fred is the medical library expert in the group.
Oh, here we go. ATSU. Does that sound familiar?
I could look it up.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, you're a librarian.
Yes.
Those are the two I know of.
Yeah. Yeah. But I found that the osteopathic books are the ones I'm having trouble finding. Yeah. The everything else I've had no problem pulling, and it's nice and easy. But if we don't, like, if I for a year, if I still need to pull records from OCLC, we have to keep it. And my boss doesn't want to keep it.
Yeah, we have OCLC. We've discussed whether it's worth keeping. And I think we catalog a few more books a year than you do, not many.
Yeah.
And just in terms of frustration and time, for us, it was worth it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had
especially the frustration bit.
Yeah, no, that's why I said I told her, I said I'm having a lot of trouble finding the osteopathic books. I go, everything else I'm not having any problems. And I said, but I've already had to pull like record. I mean, the thing is, we're paying $1,500, and I'm maybe pulling 3 or 4 records, which seems a little for so much the amount we pay.
Yes,
it's like paying $500 a record.
Well, some of our journals we pay $100 per view.
Yeah. No, we killed those journals. We're like, we'll just do ILLs and.
Yeah, we've pretty much done that too. Let's see about. Just thinking of another source. Oh, do you get your books from a particular dealer?
No, we got rid of that. We were paying Gobi to search for us. And I figured it would be like, I want to keep OCLC because I think we should as an alternative source. But because the other one is just because we're paying for them for their records, and they pull the records from OCLC. So we pay OCLC twice.
Yeah.
We pay for them to pull the records for us, and then we pull records ourselves. So we got rid of that one because it's just that one was the one that was probably like more of a problem, because if we get a book for free, if we get it have to get it from another source, then I have to catalog it, and they don't do it for us. So
yeah, we get our books from Rittenhouse, and they include cataloging records.
Yeah,
not very good ones. But...
No, I found the quality of some of the MARC records. I just pulled a whole bunch for clinical key, and some of them were pretty bad. Like no call numbers, no subject headings.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Are you subscribed to Clinical Key?
Yeah.
Because you can get those free via OCLC.
Yeah, from WorldCat. That's where I get them from. And those are the ones that are those are the records that were like, one of them was like, well, it's coming out eventually, so here's the cataloging records. So we have no subject headings. And for some reason, the title is in all caps.
Yeah, I don't understand those.
And some of them, we don't even have access to. They're like, I'm like, but we don't have access to this book. So.
Yeah. Well, this is vaguely cataloging related. So now you have an idea of what medical libraries or specialty libraries go through. Jason, you probably don't have the same kind of problems. Or George.
No.
My problem is the vast number of self-published materials we have.
Oh, We had that problem too, because my boss got this back in the old days, when it was just a Zika virus was like a problem. She got like some kind of weird self-published Zika virus guideline book, and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but she's like, we have to keep it. Someone wants it. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Read some very short cataloging records.
Oh yeah, I've
Yes.
done some very short cataloging records.
Yeah, I'm trying now to do med study, and nobody else apparently has the current version, or at least no one's put it in OCLC.
Yeah, I have actually, someone donated like one book it was a set, and one person and a student donated one book of the set. I'm like, I'm not keeping just one book out of the set. And yes, nobody had the record.
Well, how big is your book collection?
Not very big. It's about, I would say about 2,000 books altogether. And then we have a campus on Middletown, and they have 800 books.
Okay, look on the bright side. Even if you don't get things exactly right, it's not going to matter a whole lot.
No, that's the thing. Like, because the majority of our collection is electronic. We have like 3,000 books and 300,000 resources on our discovery layer.
Nice.
But our discovery layer is a little buggy, so I do have to do some e-records. But I let them handle the journals, but I'm not dealing with the journals.
What are you using for your discovery layer?
EBSCO. Yeah. But we used to have summons, and that was worse.
Yeah, at some point I want to try Aspen, since it's not a price we can afford. Not yet.
I mean, we're not thrilled with OCLC's discovery layer, but it's not as bad as summon. So we are eventually we'll take a look at other discovery layers when the time is, because I think we're at a contract. So I think we're at a 3-year contract.
Are you, is your Koha installation supported, or are you self-supported?
Yeah, we're by water. We can buy water.
Yeah, so are we.
Yeah, we had Sierra before, and Koha is so much nicer than Sierra, so much more easier to use. And yeah, we had a little snafu in the beginning with our emails bouncing back, the overdue is bouncing back, but now everything's working. The bigger issue is that we have Open Athens, and Open Athens, like they're trying to make it so that you can log in with your Open Athens account into Koha if you want to reserve a book. And yeah, that we're still working on, but that's an Open Athens issue.
And they just redesigned the interface.
Yeah, we were forced to do Open Athens. We didn't want it.
Oh, we've been with them a long time.
Yeah,
we like it.
Are you one school or one campus?
Yes.
Yeah, we are multiple campuses. It does not work well with multiple campuses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That might be something that maybe the consortia thing could help with.
I can ask.
Yeah.
Like, is it like a consortia group or?
It's another special interest group with koha-US. Yeah, there's among the special interest groups that koha-US has is a consortia one. And then there's also the circulation public services one.
Okay. I'll look into that, because we're having EBSCO and doesn't seem to understand, like they want it, you have to set up the account so that they can log in with their username and password and not have a separate Koha password. They can use their Open Athens password, and because it'd just be easier for that. But they don't seem to understand. For some reason, EBSCO doesn't seem to understand that, and we're still working on it.
Are you trying to get warm?
Well, Lauren, did you have something to bring?
I do. Let me share my screen because I don't know how to explain what's going on. Okay, so it's linking. We use the 773 links. When I click to go to the record, oh, hold on. Forgot, I gotta log in. I get that. But if I edit, now it should work.
Okay, that was really, really, really fast for me. Can you do it
When-
again?
When does it
It's
run out? When does it
weird.
stop?
So the information in the 773 is correct.
Okay, and when you click on it, what is the search it's doing?
So let me do, okay. So this
Yeah.
is another record.
Okay,
So I click on the link. Okay.
okay, and it's trying to search on control number. Oh,
But then if I go in,
mm-hmm.
and all I have to do is open it and then save it. I mean, I don't even have to, I can,
Yeah,
like,
let's see the field for a moment.
this is the correct bib record
Mm-hmm.
number. And I save it.
And can we look at the mark again to see if that field was changed in any way? You know, the control number, when we looked at it before, which was a different field from the bib number, was blank, and now it's not showing up. See that empty subfield W record control number?
So would that be in the framework? I need to not make it visible.
Well, in our Koha installation, the linking entry fields, these 77X fields, try to search on that subfield W. So that's where we're putting the number that appears in our 001 in our bib records for the link.
It's working for me.
So no one is, I guess, in a sense, manually putting that information in. They're using link to host record.
Yeah, we don't use that. Since we're cataloging in OCLC, when you're in OCLC and you put the record number in the 773 field, it creates, the OCLC macro creates the field for you, including the OCLC number that we have mapped in our 001. So I am not using the link to host record. Maybe someone else who's using it has more information.
Yeah, I'm doing that linking manually, and I'm not sure I've got it right yet.
So I'm basically whoops. Oh no, that's weird. It won't even let me expand to make the W visible.
Yeah.
So why is it
In your frameworks,
going up? Well, it's in, I didn't change the framework.
maybe what, yeah, that's very weird.
So it's there, print framework. I click save.
It almost seems like when you click save, it's like populating that control number field, and that's what's letting it search. So like you've got a blank control number field, saving it as generating one and hiding the field for whatever reason. But that's why the link is getting created, because it hasn't been saved with the control number yet.
But if I go back in the record, the control number is not visible.
I would
Yeah.
take a look at your framework to see what your framework says about the host item.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would see if you can just like fully expose that subfield all the time. Make sure that it's always showing up, and then you can see if it's getting filled in.
Can you switch this view over to the advanced editor? Because the advanced editor should show you what's in there.
Yeah.
I don't see a W.
Yeah.
That's really weird.
Yep.
So after you've like fixed it, when you go to click on the link, can you go to one of those that's working and hover over it?
Well, I thought I said save.
So
Oh,
I guess I was trying to see the thing down at the bottom to see. So it's pointing at a biblio number.
yeah.
So it's not using the control number field at all to do that search now. So it's like the biblio number isn't saved in there until you save it. Like saving it is creating the link. That doesn't help your or give you any answers, but it seems very odd. So if you hover over one of those links that's not working, what does that URL look like? So it's like,
It's not taking you to a bin number.
yeah, just hover over where you got in on there.
Yes.
And then down at the bottom, we can see that it's doing like a search Q equals control number. So it's, yeah, there's something funky there because it's generating a different link entirely after the save.
It worked before the upgrade. And I don't know if I'm like, if we like did a reindex, like, is there something on the back end that maybe needs to happen to like refresh everything? I don't want to have to open and save every record that has a 773 link. And I don't want to have to do it after every upgrade. There's got to be.
Is that the kind of thing where reindexing would help?
That's what I wondered.
I would say a reindex usually never hurts anything for us, at least. I mean,
Okay.
sometimes it does solve some problems. Yeah, and it almost seems like that bib number isn't actually saved into the record. Like it's not recognizing that you've got that there. So yeah, I would, try a reindex. And if that kills your system, sorry, but I've never had a reindex like make things worse, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. And this, all right. I was just hoping that the collective group would know what may be going in. I'll check my framework.
Leanne asked in the chat if are you creating host record first or then child record? And also, is this only happening with newly added stuff or all your existing stuff that used to work?
This is the existing stuff. Last year, this library, I had to redo all their 773 links. It was a nightmare. So I fixed them all. And they worked wonderfully. The records were already made, the journal record was made, and then I just attached them to that record. And then we upgraded to the 2011, and I was doing a random search for something else, and I was trying to show what the 773 link did, and it didn't work. And I'm like, I thought I fixed all these, but it's random. Some records work, but not all. And they were all done the same way.
Do you have an example of a record that you didn't need to fix?
I don't know. Let's see. Because I started fixing them.
I'm just thinking if you had one that didn't break, we could look at it and see if we could figure out what the difference between the one that's always worked and the one that broke might be. So.
Because a lot of them, it was the first one or two records it worked. The bib number is populating. So when I searched for the barcode to see all the articles that link to that journal, the first one or two seemed to, I had a better chance of them working. And the further down the list you went, it stopped working.
So what's the mark look like for this this record here?
Oh, rather than going into an edit, can we look at a record that has the problem with just the mark display?
Okay. Yep.
Because I think going into the edit changes it.
Which one do you want? This one?
Yeah, that has the host bib number, but I'm wondering if it got populated when you hit edit.
Well, this link already worked. When you click, okay, now I can, what we can do, this one, I'm pretty sure doesn't work. Yep. And the mark.
Or actually, can you do, okay, yeah, that works good. Yeah, it doesn't work, but it has a bib number in it. And it has that blank record control number. I wonder if there's something like a space in the subfield W. Because you shouldn't see subfield W, you shouldn't see a subfield in this display if it doesn't have data in it.
I bet the existence of that subfield is what's causing the link to generate blankly. And then when you save it, it eliminates the subfield. So then it's falling back onto the bib number.
Mm-hmm.
Right. What's got me confused here is that the W field is supposed to have the mark code for the agency in parentheses ahead of the control number. And the example Leanne posted doesn't have that. Is something peculiar about Koha that doesn't follow the LOC standard?
No, Koha can follow the standard. Our catalog has all of its record control numbers in the subfield W in the correct format with the library prefix in parentheses, and our Koha deals with it fine, but I think Leanne is using the host bib number in subfield 0
Right.
for her links.
Right. Okay, that explains why there's two approaches.
Mhm. I would think perhaps mark edit might help if you can get the records out and then use mark edit to eliminate that empty subfield W.
Okay.
Or perhaps the feature I haven't played with at all with the templates.
I think I haven't used the templates very much either, but I think it would be possible to create a mark modification template that says, you know, if subfield W is empty, remove subfield W. But I'm not about to begin to try to figure out how to do that today.
It might be worth posting about this on the big Koha list because you might attract the attention of perhaps like Anne in New Zealand, who's a whiz with the mark modification templates.
Okay.
I'm confused about the difference between an empty field and a missing field. How do you have an empty field?
I suspect that the field isn't actually empty. I suspect that there's something like a space in it.
Right, that makes sense.
It's a difference in the database between a field that is there that has no data in it and a field that is null. It's confusing. It's hard to explain.
That's why I'm confused then.
That being said, I think I could write a report to find them.
Ooh, George.
That would.
That sounds
That
like
also being
excellent...
said, I think I could write a report. The reason I say I think I could write a report is we're not using any of the 700 of the 77 fields, so I wouldn't be able to experiment very successfully.
I should note that George can do a report that will do pretty much anything.
I've learned that.
I think writing reports to get fields with null data might be an excellent topic for an every other Thursday video if there hasn't been one already.
No, there hasn't, and those videos are on hiatus until the new year at least. So
we can wait.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, you are going to have to. So.
Okay. Well, y'all help me identify what's causing it, which is the first step in fixing it.
Possibly. Do let us know how it goes.
So yeah, and I'll try the lister. I'll check my system preferences on control numbers because I feel like I might have set something, and that might be. I cleaned up my frameworks, and I may have cleaned them up too well.
Yes.
There that
Been there, done that.
Yes, there may be some like a default, an inadvertent default data or lack of data put into that subfield W.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have a couple more minutes if anybody else has anything. Well, I'll go ahead and end the recording.